What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome on this Sunday night to the Sooner Surge, a podcast that tells it like it is. We're here for you tonight at 9:30. Going strong, Jay. Just finished the Sooner Softball Live, and we're back at it tonight to talk all things Sooner sports. You got the football team in winter workouts. Staff, I like what Bagman said. Well, the title's misleading because it's kind of complete because Joe John Finley's still on staff.
Yeah, hey, and question of the night maybe is, where were you last night? I was in bed. I was asleep, and then I woke up to this. It was kind of wild, the Luka Doncic stuff. But wild stuff, man.
Absolutely, man. I think it's by far the most significant trade in NBA history. I don't think it's the craziest trade in sports history. I think that still goes to Herschel Walker.
Well, and hey, are you talking about bad trades?
I'm not talking about bad trades, just crazy trades.
Deshaun Watson. I mean,
the Herschel was 18 players, Jay.
I know. I'm just. It was crazy. I think the crazy thing is that if you saw the stuff today, Jason Kidd had no clue. I mean, nobody knew this was happening. That's what's wild about it. But it's crazy. I think for the Thunder's sake, I'm Lakers or Mavs. I think neither one of them. I don't think it's going to help against the Thunder, in my opinion.
I think the Lakers won the trade because when
long term they did.
Long term they got that. And look, I mean, we can argue about if it's the craziest trade. In my opinion, it is, but it doesn't matter. We'll never know. I mean, we'll never know that. The fact that Kidd and some people in the Mavs org didn't know is crazy. And he sat there today and said, we're in alignment with what they did here. Weird.
The whole weird thing about all of it is this. Go look at any of the trades the Thunder make. Presti gets all kind of players. They didn't give up anything hardly from Doncic. I mean, AD,
he's Doncic. It's not Doncic.
I call him Doncic, okay? That's what I call him, German.
Name, dude. Golly.
That's what I call him, Germ, okay? Hey, the other thing is this. Let me see if I can find it on here. Gosh, I can't find the comment I was going to get to. I'll get it. I'll find it later on. It was wild, but dumb trade, Max says. LeBron didn't. Who knows if LeBron, who knows? But we'll move on. And this is right, Mr. B. It doesn't seem like the Mavs wanted Luka long term. I'll just say Luka. How's that? By the way, their GM, yeah, it was kind of interesting, the interview. Yeah, NBA Surge or Thunder Live. Yeah, that's right. Moving on. KB says, 2 comments or questions. Is the Ohio State spring portal going to open up? And the Nebraska no spring game is taking hold of numerous teams being reported. Or spring game after portal closed. I'm trying to see what KB's asking there. I think you're asking with the Ohio State, with Chip Kelly and Knowles leaving, are they going to have some guys portal in the spring?
I don't know, but Jay, they won a title and they're losing guys left and right on the staff. Hey, I know some Sooner fans are going to be happy with you got Choice and Murray both in line for maybe a running back coach position, for Dallas Cowboys.
Wait,
I know Sooner fans are what?
I've heard more Samples and Choice.
I've seen DeMarco, Jay's name.
Murray is not interviewed, and the other 2 have interviewed. I know that. So I would think it's going to be one of those 2.
According to who, Jay?
Multiple NFL sources.
DeMarco might not need an interview, Jay. Maybe they know him so well.
Well, they interviewed Choice, and they absolutely were blown away, is what I've heard. Okay. And then Samples, I think, was interviewing today. They love Nick Harris. That's right. That's who I heard it from. Samples, I'm sure, will blow them away too. Samples is really good. I think it's probably going to be one of those 2 guys.
Jay, I hate to tell you, I'm back at it when my camera's like this. I can't see comments, so
we're going to put up as many as we can. Daniel says the spring is for the fans. Obviously, all the scrimmage we do during spring, the spring game really isn't needed. And I would agree with that, Daniel. It's not needed. It is for the fans. How many teams are going to opt out of the spring game now that Matt Rule's doing it? I talked to a Nebraska guy today. He told me Nebraska was already before all this was thinking about not doing it. And this is kind of like, okay, we're just not going to do it now.
I'm not going to lie, Jay. I've probably been to the last 5 spring games. I hate to say this, kind of boring.
Well, I think you're wanting to see him against another team more than you are your own team. I still think it's useful to see some things, but
didn't say it wasn't useful. Boring.
Hunter, maybe you can answer this question, specific dates, but I don't know off the top of my head. Hey, I got to say this. I am super duper pumped about a couple of guys next year defensively that I'm so eager to see. Like, probably the biggest excitement I've had in a few years on defensive players. And one of them is Danny Okoye. Now, 2 seasons in the weight room, and he's a freak in the weight room. I don't know if you saw some of the stuff he put out on Instagram. The guy's unbelievable what he's doing. Okay.
You have to play him, though.
I'm ready to see him. And the other one is I'm ready to see Boganowski take another step and see him on the field. Those 2 guys are freaks. They're freaks.
Are you ready to say Danny Okoye ahead of PJ Adebawore?
I am. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see that, Jeremy. I think PJ's had 2 years now. I'm ready to see what Danny Okoye can do.
Are you saying right now Danny Okoye starting opposite R. Mason Thomas is what you want to see?
Well, you got Marvin Jones Jr. there right now. I think he'd like to have a word with you, Jerm. But what I'm saying is,
okay, as long as it's not by myself, where he could beat me up, I'm sure, Jake.
Yeah. Hey, David Stone's another one. Second year, there are so many talented guys on that defense.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
I'm pumped for that defense. Yeah, Ohio State outside linebacker coach coming to Texas. But you know what? Ohio State got them a national championship. That really buys day how many years? I mean, people that were saying he was on the hot seat, do you really believe he
wants to leave, Jay? He's not going to get fired.
Do you believe he was on the hot seat?
Here's what I don't think they would ever fire him, but I think it was hot enough for him to voluntarily leave.
Private scrimmages, Daniel says, are more beneficial. I do think the spring game has its place, but if they get rid of it, wouldn't be lost. And I would kind of agree. It's a fan thing. Daniel's right. It's a fan thing. Man, I got a scratch I can't even get to back here.
It's a scratch or an itch.
Are we going to get into scratch? It's a scratch because I'm scratching it. Yeah.
It's not.
All right. This isn't
scratch is a verb. Itch is a noun.
This isn't Seinfeld. How much to go to the spring game?
Last year, I think I bought tickets for $20 last year.
Yeah. From the last live. If you're on the last live, Daniel's, we had a softball live before this, and somebody instead of the word live put in lice, and I started itching. So
Daniel, were you fired up with how I ended that live, buddy?
Now, Sergeant says spring games are also important recruiting events.
Wait, casuals confirm. Okay, hey, Sergeant, never call me a casual because I'm not one. Hey, guess what? A casual doesn't do a live show every night at 9:30. Promise you that.
But he brings up a point. Yeah, recruiting, it's a big deal.
Agree. All I said was the spring game, in my opinion, the last few years is kind of boring. Like,
well, is it the scoring system? What is it for you?
It's not a real game, Jay.
So it doesn't matter if they have a spring game or I still like the spring game, man. I still like it.
But I would much rather see a scrimmage against another team.
Questions that I want to know your answers to, Colin says. Day one impact player, boomer bust player, and diamond in the rough player. Okay, day one impact. I mean, to me, the obvious answer is maybe this is a John Mateer.
Right.
Boomer bust player. I'll go.
I've got the name. I've got the answer.
Who's that?
It's Deion Burks.
What about Devon Mitchell?
No, it's Deion Burks. If Deion does what he did last year and doesn't play half the year, then he's a bust at OU for 2 years.
Okay, diamond in the rough.
I got Giovanni Gibson.
Giovanni Gibson as a diamond in the rough?
Yes.
I think we're all thinking offensively here because the offense has to be way better. But diamond in the rough, you know what? I'm going to throw a name out there. And we haven't seen him, but what about Caden Helms?
Don't know how much he's going to play now that Canick's going over there, and you got Devon Mitchell.
Oh, stop! I haven't seen Canick do anything yet. Now, what you could say him as you could say him as your diamond in the rough.
No, I'm going with Giovanni Gibson, Jay. I love his size.
Look at Taylor Himes, Zaya says. Okay.
Yeah.
Jackson says Lewis. Keontae Lewis.
Oh, I was like, Lewis, Kip Lewis, what? Is that Jaden Gibson or Giovanni Gibson, Purple Orca?
Still got that lingering cough, don't you?
Yeah, I can't get rid of it, man.
KB said diamond in the rough, BV. Or is he saying boom or bust?
Probably boom or bust, Jay, because it's been a bust. Can you turn
around? Calling you out here. Do you know Bowen played half the season with loose fragments in his foot?
Nope. Hey, Chester, I didn't know that. All I said last night was I wouldn't mind seeing Boganowski and RSJ back there. What about when Bowen wasn't having loose? Look, I think Peyton Bowen, when he came into OU, he made some early plays in the special teams early on, got his hands on some deflections. I thought he was going to be an absolute ball hawk. I've been a little upset with his tackling, just to be honest with you. It's not what I expected.
Hey,
and he's gotten beat mentally a few times. That's my complaint with him. I still think Peyton Bowen can be really, really good. Daniel's
asking who you think starts two safeties.
I want RSJ and Michael Boganowski is who I want. I think it's probably going to be Bowen and RSJ. RSJ's a lock.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll be interested to see who they throw out there. I mean, I think they're going to rotate quite a bit of guys. They have for the first few years under Brent Venables. I don't see him changing that. I mean, Powers hasn't got any run. He's another one. So we'll see. Kip Lewis is a stud. Yeah, Billion. He's a really good player. Somebody's got to replace Danny, though. I know people say, well, they got talent there. They do, but Danny was, golly, man. Talk about a stud. Danny's stud.
All-American, Jay.
Stud.
All-American.
That's right. Run situations give me Bogues, Purple says. I like Bogues all around. I think Bogues is a good player.
Although I do especially like him in the running game.
Manny Choice, Talon says. Okay.
That's a different one.
Colin says, how many points will the Arbuck offense have to average to 10 wins? Okay.
10 wins, I think they're going to have to score 35 a game. If they score 35 every game, OU would have 10 wins.
35 a game, but that you can't go off average for the season. They have to average 35.
No. I'm saying if every game they play, they score 35, OU's got 10 wins.
Yeah. Some people are saying
they score 35 points every game they go out there, OU would have 10 wins.
Hey, Chester, he was in on that play, but it was not his bust. It was not his bust from what I've heard.
Now, he could have played it a lot better, though.
Yeah, but he's young. He's still learning, man. He's still learning.
Oh, yeah.
Top 40 offense.
Special. He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
Top 40 offense equals 10 wins. Hey, guys, here's the thing, though. You can have a really good offense, top 40. I think we're fooling ourselves here if we don't think with this schedule you're going to have – right now, if I said over-under next season, 5 games, 1 possession, you taking the over-under. 5 of the 12 games, 1 possession games. Yes, over-under.
I'll probably go right at or over, probably over.
So over, that means you can score points, you can play good defense. It's going to come down to plays and crunch time. That's what this comes down
to. And coaching. And hey.
In-game coaching, that's correct.
Hey, go back to Boganowski. Hunter, you can drop his size here, but listen, guys. When was the last time OU had a safety his size? I'm curious. Let's go back to the years. When was the last time OU had a safety Michael Boganowski size? Hunter, drop his size in here for me. I mean, loved Brandon Average. And I think Kendall Daniels plays cheetah and some linebacker. I think he mainly plays cheetah.
Brodney Poole, Mr. B says.
Brodney Poole was only 5'11", wasn't he?
Roy Williams.
Roy Williams was barely 6 foot.
I think there's one recently that we're forgetting here.
Turner Yale. What about Delarian Turner Yale?
I don't think he's that size, but
he might have been, Jay.
What's up, Chuck? How you doing tonight? Chuck's got the smiley face.
What's Boganowski's size? Is he 6'2", Jay?
I don't know what Mr. B's saying 5'3", but Nick Harris was a big one. Nick Harris has good size.
Nick Harris had good size. I think Turner Yell did as well.
Guys, that's going back to 2008, though.
I'm trying to figure out the last guy with Boganowski's size.
Comparison here, Daniel Brooks says.
Now, size-wise, he's probably got about the same height as Stephen Parker from Jinx. I think he's definitely stronger than Stephen Parker and hits harder. Yeah, I agree with that.
Number 7 was Brandon Average.
Brandon Average is who you're thinking of. Against Air Force, just head hunting. Okay, Brodney Poole was 6'2". That's a good one then, Jay. That's a good one then. What about Tony Jefferson? I think there's some good Tony Jefferson comparisons.
Yeah, who was the guy that played safety? It would have been about 2015, the playoff year, or 2016, one of those 2 years. I believe they had one that was pretty big then.
I think Tony Jefferson's pretty good comparison. Brodney Poole is as well. What's Boganowski's size, Jay?
Ante Jones is pretty big, too.
Not as tall. I can't see the comments, so I don't know if it's been on there yet, Jay. I can't tell if Michael Boganowski's size has been put on there yet. 6'2", 215. So almost identical to Brodney Poole. Tony Jefferson, I think, was 6'1", 215. Delarian Turner-Yell, I'd be interested to see kind of what his size was. But listen, the names I just said, Brodney Poole, Turner-Yell, Tony Jefferson, Boganowski. All those guys are very physical. That's what Boganowski is. I think he needs to be on the field. Day one. But yeah, I can't.
Sorry, I'm trying to find something real quick, Jerm.
Oklahoma's still a top 3 brand in the SEC based on Nick Harris was 6'2". He's another guy. Again, physical guys. I just don't think Peyton Bowen is that physical of a guy. I'd rather see Boganowski. Now, Peyton Bowen can play nickel. He can play some other things.
Yeah, Roy was 6 foot. Roy, though, he played bigger than he was. He always did. That's just what he was. He played bigger than that. So did Tony Jefferson. I mean, both those guys played bigger than what they actually were. And they were always in the right spot. And, I mean, you could go down the list. Quentin Carter was a human missile. I agree. Quentin Carter. You know his number, Jerm? Quentin Carter?
Yeah, I think he was 20.
Correct. 20. Correct.
Hey. Yeah, he'll have to learn how to cover, but Derek Strait played big too. Derek Strait wasn't as physical. Now, he also played corner. He didn't play safety, but he was physical for a corner. Hey, yeah. I think it's time to open the phone lines. Hunter will drop it in there. We're going to open the phone lines. Love to hear from you here at the Sooner Surge on our nightly 9:30 live show. Check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up by February 20th. You got a few days, but sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. You get 10% off your first 3 months, and that will guarantee you to get the March Shirt of the Month, which is the Great St. Patty's Day OU shirt. You'll get that in March if you sign up by February 20th.
Man, there's some good names being thrown here. It brings back some great football. I was trying to look at the OU. Right, there hasn't been a guy recently there that size. Very recent. But somebody said he is going to have to. Hunter did have it in there quickly. That they are going to have to be covering well at safety. That's one thing, and defensive back as well. Opposite Eli Bowen, whoever it's going to be. We got to remember Eli Bowen was a freshman last year, and he played good. So, who was a defensive player who had an awesome game against Florida State in 2000 Orange Bowl start the T? They had many that had it, but I mean, they had many that had a good game that game.
Torrance Marshall played well.
Torrance Marshall. Ante Jones, I thought, played well in that game.
Yeah, Ante Jones. Ramon Richardson played a good game in that game, Jay.
Thatcher. I mean, they had quite a bit. I would think it'd be Torrance Marshall is probably who she's thinking of.
Yeah.
NIL Commission says, why did you share the StreamYard? That's to call in. If you'd like to call in, you can click on the StreamYard link. You won't be showing us a video. It'll just be taking calls if you'd like to call in and talk. There you go, NIL Commish.
Give us a holler. Love to talk to you about whatever you guys got.
Hey, and by the way, I know the graphic has on there coaching staff probably complete, but one thing you're still waiting on as an OU fan is who's the GM going to be? Still waiting on that. And I would think sooner rather than later, but I don't know when it'll be. Mess has said, Jay, 2 questions from OU 2024 season. 1, who played free safety? 2, who played strong safety? Mess asking me a football question, isn't he? Let's get to the call, and then we'll answer that question. Okay, Mess? Let's get Chester on the line. What's up?
Hey, I was glad you brought up that 2008 game.
Yeah.
Because Nick Harris, man, he's one of my favorite players of all time.
Oh, he was so good.
Like I said, I used to record all the games up to 2010, and from 06 through 08, they used him everywhere: left corner, right corner, free safety, strong safety, nickel. Man, he was a great player. It seems like he's forgotten a lot by a bunch of fans.
Oh, he was so good. So good.
And that 07 team, man, they were good. Whew. You had Nick Harris and Reggie Smith back there. Good Lord, that team was amazing.
Oh, Reggie Smith. Today's the anniversary, I think, when Reggie Smith signed with OU or something I saw on Twitter. Man,
that team was fast.
Yeah.
They were just so young. And then you still had Malcolm Kelly there. I always wished both Smith and Kelly would have came back for the 08 year. My goodness, that team would have been unbelievable.
Reggie Smith was so athletic, man. When he was at Edmond Santa Fe, he was unbelievable. He was good for OU, really good.
Oh, I watched him in person. He was so good, returning punts and everything, man.
Yeah, he was an unbelievable player. I don't know what happened to them in the pros, but like I said, I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just want to say I'm glad you brought up that game because I think that was one of Brent's best games he ever called. And that loss to me was completely on the offense. They had 3 turnovers?
Yeah, it was not pretty.
And that turnover on downs on the goal line really killed the game.
Killed him. Absolutely. That's one you want back. As Sooner fans, that's a game, man. It's on the top list, one you want back. Hey, Chester, you settle into the new place?
Yeah, I was hoping my corgi would bark so y'all can hear how loud a corgi is.
We heard it. We heard it at the first.
Yeah, them little dogs got big barks like me. Boomer Sooner for life.
There you go. Nice, Chester. Appreciate it. Hey, Jerm, let's go back to a couple of questions. Jay, 2 questions from you. OU 2024 season. Who played free safety? Who played strong safety? I would say that Bowman, in my opinion, played free safety. I thought he was in the middle of the field more, but I don't know technically how they called it, but that's what I would say. How would you answer it, Jerm?
Well, I've already told you, Jay. I agree with you, but I don't think that, in my opinion, safeties. I call them both safeties. I get that there's free and strong and all that, but
I don't know how they do it in Brent Venables' defense. How they, specifically call it. I would just think since Bowman was kind of in the middle of the field more. I don't know. That's what I would say. But if I'm wrong, Mess, I'm wrong. What do you think, Mess? What is it? What's the correct answer there? Sergeant with his normal every night comment, and I think Chester too had said that earlier. Weren't they missing that Ryan? I think the question wasn't they missing their middle linebacker Reynolds? Ryan Reynolds, I believe is who you're talking about.
Ryan Reynolds.
And they're just safeties today. You don't really hear the term free safety or strong safety as much anymore. I don't anyway, but one thing you do hear more is cheetah. That's what you hear a lot of. Who's going to play the cheetah in Brent Venables' defense? But phone lines are open. Give us a holler if you want to talk. Football, basketball, salt, whatever you want to talk about tonight. Ryan Reynolds was really good. He was a good player for Oklahoma. I got a trivia question. Oh my gosh, I got a trivia, and this is going to be. I didn't have a trivia ready tonight, but this came to me off the top of my head, and It's out of the blue. So just bear with me on this, but I'm trying to remember the year. So, and I can't even tell you the year. Okay. So I'm just here we go with the trivia tonight. OU versus Texas, probably Mike Stoops, I think, was back at Oklahoma as a defensive coordinator. OU had a starting linebacker get injured, and they, I believe, went to their second or third string linebacker. They got absolutely torched the rest of the game. Who was that linebacker? Jerm, do you know this?
Yeah, I know the answer.
Did I explain it well or not?
Yeah, I mean, all you had to do is say OU linebacker that came in because someone got hurt and just got torched. You didn't have to say anything else.
Was it Bolton that got injured?
I don't remember if it's Curtis Bolton or not, but
somebody will get this. A surgeaholic.
not Jeremy Beal. He was.
A surgeaholic will get this.
Oh, 100%, Jay. 100%. Someone's going to get it in 3, 2, 1. Comment. Not yet.
Not yet. People are trying to Google it up, but I didn't give them a year. That's the thing. Brandon Crow.
That's it.
Look what purple put. Funny.
Jay, do you know who Jim Halpert is?
No, why?
Hey, Daniel, what year did Jim Halpert play? Was it 1940? Hey, Daniel, wink, 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 wink. Jay, I think he played in 1940. Wink, wink.
So it's a joke. I get it.
Well, I mean, hey, Daniel, he had an office. What year did he have? What year was he in the office as far as like in the office for the defensive running, defensive player of the year?
I don't know what I don't know what you're even talking about. Okay. Davis Bevel. Davis Bevel. The comments in here are killing me. Jerm's got his camera off. I don't know what was going on. I heard something in the background, but he was dubbed Eating Crow. Really real says. Hey, I would love a 30 for 30 on that day when Mike Stoops after the Texas game. Would that be great? See what happened.
Let's have a little fun here tonight, Jay, because by the way, I was just having fun with you about The Office. You didn't know who Jim Halpert was.
I've never seen The Office, not one episode.
Okay.
Have you watched all of them?
No, but listen.
Never seen it.
Jay, that's exactly Hunter was getting ready to do it. What would if you could pick an OU 30-30?
Great question.
That's what I was going to get ready to ask. So
Lincoln Riley would be one, wouldn't it? Lincoln Riley would be the top 5 of everybody's.
Lincoln Riley would be number 1.
That situation with Lincoln Riley would probably be 1 on most people's minds right now.
Number 2, you would have to go back to the Switzer days about all the stuff that happened in the Switzer years. There'd have to be a 30 for 30 about one of those years because there were some crazy things that happened.
I got one. What about Rhett Bomar?
I'm not sure about Rhett Bomar, if that would be top 5. I got one for you. All the guys that got suspended for the bowl game.
Okay. Look at this one. Smitty and the wide receiver core 20. The wide receiver injury is a weird deal. I don't know what you would do.
You're right. I agree. You're right. The wide receiver 2024 would have to be
you'd have to change it. You'd have to change it to top 4 because there already is one. Marcus Dupree.
Yeah, Marcus Dupree's great already.
Bob Stoops repunting. The problem with Mac, the problem with that is you can't do a full 30-30 on it.
No, you can't do a 30 for 30 on that.
Now, they have one that's kind of it's not a 30 for 30, but the whole Leach thing with the Texas playbook, it's not a whole 30 for 30.
The Brian Bosworth stuff would be good. Hey, Jay, you could probably do a 30 for 30 on Baker Mayfield's career at OU. There's enough stuff with the crotch grab, with the other things that you could easily fill up a 30 for 30.
Yeah. Boz has one already, so that's 2. So there's 2 already, yeah. Yeah, I know you're just playing Mac, but don't bring up the repunt again. Well, we've seen repunt, we've seen squib kick from Boomer Sooner here. I don't want to bring up the squib kick, the repunt. You know what they haven't done? They need this absolutely needs to be a 30 for 30. OU's 2000 season.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the answer on this? This is a great trivia. I don't know the answer, so I'm not going to give a point. But how many teams in the last 25 years have went completely undefeated?
Not many, Jay. Hey, I agree that the Boise State game would have to be one.
Yeah, you could
Marco Murray and his house recruiting visits. The Schnellenberger hire would have to be.
Oh, that's a great one, Samurai.
Jay, I remember. Jay,
there's a good one too. Damn
it. He had a cigar. He had like a pipe, and he was, and he said something to the extent, and maybe Hunter can find the quote. Jay, you remember the quote is about thoroughbreds. We just got the.
I remember that.
We're just going to be on the horse races, and we're going to try to win the horse race.
Hey,
like,
if you
I watched that interview and said, "What is happening at the University of Oklahoma?"
Danny, that's a good one too. Hey, there it is. 8 teams in the last 20 years. That's crazy.
It's Donnie, Danny.
What?
Say his name right. It's Donnie, dude.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. I couldn't see it. The Noel Saga. Hey, I got to get to something on the Schnellenberger stuff. If you listen to Sports Animal, Al Eschbeck has talked about this quite a bit. You know, he used to do the coaches show with Schnellenberger. He absolutely hated it. He said he would just come in there. He has some funny stories about it. So Sargent wants OU to start cheating again. Hey, here's what everybody wants. Everybody wants OU to start winning again. And there's Sooner Surge. Hunter says, Miami, Ohio State. So wait, 3 years in a row undefeated. Look at that. You had 2000, 2001, and then 2002, all undefeated. That's crazy. Wild.
Well, yeah. Look, RW, I mean, he ended up going to the pros, the 49ers. Yeah, he'd have been nice to have. But... And didn't RW and Damon Parker played the same year in high school? So, yeah, RW was going to go where Damon Parker was, I thought, but didn't happen.
Yeah.
Gary Moore. I forgot about that name.
Yeah, Eric Moore for sure.
No, I said Gary Nord.
Oh. Purple says,
dude.
I thought you said Eric Moore. I can't hear you, Germ. How did the quarterback recruits visit go?
Have not heard, Jay.
Well, here's the thing. Arbuckle really likes the Bo kid. Loves him. And I know they got Jaden O'Neal already committed, but Bo Beaumont, is that how you pronounce his last name, Hunter?
No one's gonna say their visit was bad ever. So
it was a great visit, yeah.
Had a great visit, man. Had a great visit.
But I think Arbuckle really likes him. So I wonder what's going to happen there. You can't argue with Arbuckle on quarterbacks. Guy can develop quarterbacks, man.
He's shown that he can.
So I'm excited about it. See what Mateer can do. Paul Thompson position switch. Man, the fact that they won the Big 12 championship that year is unbelievable.
No offense. Paul Thompson was boring, I think. That'd be a boring one.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it up in a little bit. I was trying to think.
Got to someone who at least has been around Nate Dreiling. And the word was players loved him. That's what I got. He was a young guy. This was back in 2016. So he's even a lot younger then. But, man, players absolutely just really liked him.
And Greg says he'd rather have O'Neal. I think they're both really good.
Dampier.
Oh, man, he was a stud. But you know what, Chester? He didn't even pan out till his last – wasn't it like the bowl game? You're like, where's this dude been at Oklahoma? He was tearing it up. Will Ohio State fall off now that everybody is leaving? They won't fall off. Ohio State's not going to fall off.
Jay, what about
they may have you know what we haven't talked about? They may have a year like Alabama where they don't make the playoff, but they're not going to fall off. By the way, did you see who Alabama hired today? OC?
I did not.
Now, Hunter, verify. I might have just seen it before the live. I saw Ryan Grubb's name. Is that true?
That the duo's back together, Jay.
Somebody needs to verify. It was right before we got on the live. I saw it, so I don't want to say it.
Ryan Grubb. That's massive for that's massive. Kayla DeBoer.
That's big. That's big for him.
It's huge. It's huge. He got to have him.
Yeah, there it is. It's true.
Massive.
So, hey, sorry I say if it's true because nowadays you got to verify everything. I mean, people last night on the I'm going to say Luka trade didn't believe Sham, which Sham is never wrong. Sham will never be wrong. He's got, I mean, and there it is, probably because I said, and there's Dave Knightley. You can count on it. You can book it. Just as you can book Oklahoma softball winning national championships, Dave McCook shows up and does supers. And we appreciate it big time, Dave. I'm serious. Like, words can't express enough. We are grateful. Big time.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hey.
Oh, wow. Sooner Surge.
What would it cover, Jay?
Oh, just probably how we got started and everything. And what?
How we came to be. And then I guess that's all it would cover because
yeah. And Dave, you need to send us an email.
It was DeMarcus Granger.
Oh, I remember that. DeMarcus Granger, I believe so.
What
Granger
number was DeMarcus Granger, Jay?
For some reason, I want to say 97 or 99, but I don't know if I'm right.
I was thinking 94, but I could be wrong. Mo Dampier was good.
He was so good. Yeah. We're going down memory lane tonight, man. Fur coats. Yeah. Great idea. Yeah. 30 for 30. Have a 30 for 30 for practices. Jeremy can watch that all night.
For practices.
93. There it is. 74 for Dampier.
74 was Dampier.
Yeah. 96 in our commission says, but we're throwing jersey numbers on. Hey, phone lines are open if you'd like to call in. You got something you want to talk about. I can tell you this. You need to check out the Fan Stop. www.thefanstop.com. Code Surge, you get 10% off your first 3 months. Look at Jeremy's shirt. Jeremy has the shirt on for this month, but then if you sign up by February 20th, for March, you'll get that shirt right there that you can see on the screen. Great. Hey, St. Patrick's Day, I'll say this. I sometimes have problems finding something green to wear. I don't have a whole lot of green, so I'll have that for sure to wear. So that's what I'll be wearing on St. Patrick's Day. Hope you do as well. 30 for 30 on Lincoln Riley would have to be the top of the list. Just that whole situation. You could have Eddie Radosevich at the bus stop. All of that was great. That was great cinema, man. It's coming, Selene. It's coming, okay? Coming soon.
It's happening soon. We've got a really good idea.
We just want to make sure we got the best product possible when we release it. So it's coming soon.
FanStop's going to work with us as well to help design. It's coming around the corner, okay? Or I got a trivia for you. It's coming around the bend.
You know what I thought about?
Hey, I was in the middle of a trivia.
Oh, I thought you were done. Okay.
Jeez. Anyway, there's an old sitcom, since we're taking it back and we're rolling back to the 80s and 90s. There's an old sitcom, probably late 80s, early 90s. And in the song, in the theme song of the show, it says "Around the Bend."
This really ticks me off because I had a great comment I was going to talk about, and now I've lost it because of this silly,
you don't have a graphic memory, Jay.
Ridiculous trivia that I'm.
Do you know the answer?
Yeah, I know the answer.
Well, let me see if you know it, Jay.
I'll put it up here when I see it, Germ. Yeah, it's old head trivia. It's dumb.
I don't care if it's old head trivia. Call me an old head. I don't give a rip.
You are low. Do you stand out in your lawn and say, do you say get off my lawn to anybody that gets on it?
No, answer the question, guys. Let's hear it.
I know the answer, Germ.
Chester, we know this isn't your first rodeo. We've had trivia that's not football related all the time.
It's not
growing pains, but you're on the
there
right
it is,
track.
right there.
No, it's not.
Yes. It says around the bend on Full House, Germ.
That's not the answer.
It says it on Full House.
I'll get the point, but that's not the answer, though.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, there's two answers to every trivia question you give. It's ridiculous.
Who's the boss? Tony Danza. A-O-O-A.
All right, can we get back on subject?
Who's the
Full
boss?
House is
Danza, dude.
Geez. Hey, what I was going to say is, what about a Sooner Surge shirt and use Chester's tagline, Boomer Sooner for life on the back?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Be good. Chester. Taxi, Steve Urkel. I mean, what is happening, Juan Blair? What is happening? Juan Blair from Japan sitting there thinking, what am I watching? He was talking about a song, Full House.
Who's the boss theme song?
All right, I got to hang on a second.
Full House does it too, but I know Who's the Boss does. Yeah, I think we're leaning towards Telling It Like It Is, podcast that tells it like it is. I see Chester's other tagline that he's famous for. Lost my phone. Brand new life, brand new life, brand new life around the bend. How you like it, Mr. B? I already did. Too late, Hunter. Too late. Too late. Oh, rerun. Oh, yeah. Jay's gone, dude. He's got to Google. He's got to Google Full House theme song because he can't sing it. I can sing it.
I was actually verifying to see if your Who's the Boss was correct, but
I just sang it.
Yeah,
brand new life, a brand new life, a brand new. Okay.
Hunter, is there something you can do when he starts doing that just to turn him off? Can you mute him, please?
Hey, WKRP is great. And you know what? Oh, hey, one of the shows besides Dr. Feeney, Mr. Feeney, the other show that inspired me to become a teacher, fine. Hey, I'll leave, Hunter. You know what? Ask the Surgeaholics if they want me to leave.
I just figured out I can mute you myself. This is great.
You can take over. That's fine. I'll leave. Jay, you can do it yourself, bud.
No,
Anyway, the other show is Head of the Class. You don't remember it, Jay, probably.
Yeah, I do. I remember Head of the Class.
Head of the Class.
Welcome back. Cotter was good too. Hey, you can't beat it. You cannot be. Just like I said the other day, you can't beat American Gladiator. You cannot beat TGIF.
Sitcoms. Coach was great. Dude.
No, but the TGIF not lineup, when you had Family Matters, you had some good stuff on there on TGIF. I used to look forward to that.
Step by Step, man.
We're dating ourselves. Hunter doesn't know any of these shows. What's the go-to shows now? By the way, if I always like to promote shows on here. You know, I watch some shows. See, I'm on Night Agent. If you haven't watched Night Agent on Netflix, I encourage you to go watch Night Agent. Really good. Check it out.
Hunter likes The Rookie.
Yeah. We're way off topic. Let's get back on topic. There it is, The Night Agent. It's a really good show. And it's clean for the most part. So, oh, yeah, Tool Time. Home Improvement. Yeah, there's some good stuff. What did you just do? Golly.
Alf was horrible. Maybe the most hated show of all time for me.
No, I agree with that. I did not like Alf. We're way off topic, dude.
Full House is wrong. It doesn't say it, Jay.
Wait,
wow.
It doesn't say it?
Hey, Dave, thanks for the soup earlier. And you're right. It does get easier. They needed a win today.
They needed a win.
Hey, am I the only one who wants to see Lexi Keys in the game more? I think she needs to play more, Jay. Get more shots.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like,
turnovers so bad for the women, man.
Some of the turnovers are turnovers that you can't have in like second. Trying to throw an entry pass to Beers, she's got the lady sealed off. All it takes is a pass, and it's just a bad turnover.
Passes. Hey, there's only one show I hate worse than Alf, and it may be Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, and Sumathron's right. Seinfeld and Friends was pretty dang good. Yeah, how many more wins?
They got to get 4 more. They
Four
have to
more.
get 4 more. Let's go through them, Jay. Home
Missouri at home. You got to win.
Missouri throttled LSU.
You got to beat them at home.
I agree. Missouri, you got to win. You got to split Tennessee and Kentucky.
At home, yes.
You got to split them. That's 2. Who else they got at home, Jay?
Florida, I believe. Is Florida at home or on the road? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Florida's at home. Are there any games they can steal on the road? It'll be tough. I'll say that. But hey, Dayton Forsythe it has earned himself more playing time. I love how he goes up for rebounds. He can drive pretty well, too. I said it last night. He's a much more talented Tim Heskett. He's a really, really talented Tim Heskett. Athletically. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I like Tim Heskett. I'm not putting Tim Heskett down.
Sooner Cowboy. Obviously, that would be massive to beat the number 1 team in the nation. I just don't see that happening on the road.
You got to beat Tennessee at home this Saturday. If you do that, you're in great shape.
Yeah, they've won 3 of their last 4. Here's their games. At and versus Missouri, at home versus LSU, versus Mississippi State, and at Texas.
You have to win Missouri at home, LSU at home, Mississippi State at home, and then
one more.
Split Kentucky or Tennessee at home.
Yeah, they need that many wins for 20. That gets you 20.
Sorry. Yeah, that would get you 20.
Yeah, KB doesn't know basketball. He's like, may as well be talking about
Stacey Dells. Stacey Dells is who you're talking about, Lane. I think she's on the NFL Network now.
Yeah, I believe she is on NFL Network.
Hunter, I'm not saying count on it. You got to do it. Kentucky lost at home. Kentucky lost at home to Arkansas. Come on, Hunter.
Yeah, you got to win one of those 2 games.
You got to win one of the 2.
I would agree. Yeah, and get a road win would be nice. The voice crack every time. How old are you, man? You got the
Arkansas.
That was a different game, though. Come on.
Don't care.
Hey, back to OU. We got phone lines are still open. We got about 10 minutes left. Okay. And I agree. You guys still want them to. I talked about some guys on defense that I'm just super excited about when I said Okoye, Boganowski. Offensively, I mean, we could go down the list of wide receivers. There's a bunch. I mean, you can talk about everybody that played last year as true freshmen, plus the guys they brought in as transfers, plus the guys that they are freshmen this year coming in. They got a lot of receivers. Give me 3 names, in your opinion, to be the top 3 producing wide receivers next year. I'm going to say Deion Burks as 1. I'm going to say 2 would be, I'm going to say Jaden Gibson. And then 3, I would go, the third one's tough. I know you'd probably say the other Gibson, Giovanni.
Yeah, fine.
But what about Satania? You think?
Now, the guy that we're not talking a lot about of the transfers is Keontez Lewis.
And Keontez Lewis.
Keontez Lewis isn't talked about much. I do like both Gibsons. I love the size of Giovanni. I love the size of Giovanni Gibson.
And I figured most people would say both Gibsons, but Carry-On had a really good bowl game. I mean.
And then what about some of the guys that got coming in, Jay? Freshmen.
Do you think E.T. can play this year? Do you think he'll play? Elijah Thomas?
I'm not going to say I think he will play. I'd have to see him in the spring to see what he does.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Hey, Sergeant, probably the biggest transfer I'm looking forward to from Kennesaw State's probably the tight end.
Which one? There's 4.
That's why I said it.
Okay.
It was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Hey, I think they got depth pizzas there. That's what that is. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, probably the biggest question we should ask is who's going to be the offensive lineman that's going to just be who's the next out of this? Okay. Out of the offensive line they have on campus right now, that includes guys who have not played. Okay.
Come on.
What?
Fasusi.
No. Okay. Who do you think is going to be the highest drafted guy? Do you think it's going to be Fasusi?
Yes, he's a tackle. It's going to be a tackle. If Michael Fasusi is who people say he is, he will be the highest draft pick for a lineman, in my opinion.
Is there a guy you think he goes 3 years and then goes NFL then?
Oh, absolutely. He'll play the minimum at OU.
I would agree with you on Fasusi. I would agree with you, but he's got to pan out. That's the thing. 5-star, I agree. And the thing is, the people that say, well, 5-star, but he hasn't got to OU yet. He just dominated the Under Armour too, wherever he was at. Okay.
Hey,
so,
Bill Beatenbow, when he gets here, Bill Beatenbow better watch him 1 or 2 practices and say, yep, he's my guy. He's my guy.
And starting, you think
absolutely
day one he's a starter, you think?
Absolutely. Make it happen. Yes.
Yeah, he looks the part, doesn't he?
It got to be. I tell you one thing, and a lot of people have been on Bill Beatenbow, and maybe rightfully so after this last year, but you want someone off your back, play the dude coming in because everyone wants to see him.
Well, it's not just him. They got Foji, they got EPL, they got a lot of talent. They got a lot of talent there. It's just when will they play him and how early will they play him?
We went back old school tonight.
I thought Dent did good when he played last year. They just didn't play that.
Well, Dent did well, and I like his upside as well, Jay.
Yeah. So,
man, we kicked it back old school tonight. Guys, hey, never a dull moment on the Sooner Surge.
Hey,
podcast is like it is. We got the best chat in the country. Yeah, I said it, in the country. I dare someone to find someone else that's going every night with the same the chat shows up every night, okay? Just like we do, and they bring it every night. I'm flabbergasted. I'm just blown away by the continued faithfulness of the Sooner Surge chat each and every night. It's great.
I got to say something before we close. We were talking about Friday night, TGIF, great shows. And then Sooner Thrawn mentioned Thursday night, Seinfeld and Friends. I think we're missing the greatest of all. Monday night. You know what it is? Monday night was The Fresh Prince, MacGyver, Monday Night Football. Can you beat it? I don't know if you can.
Absolutely.
That was pretty legit.
Yeah. Hey, thanks everyone for watching again. We will see you all tomorrow night. We hope you have a fantastic Monday. Check out the Fan Stop before you leave. Check them out, thefanstop.com. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club, please, and use code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months. Yes, we watched WWE.
I didn't watch Monday Night Raw. I never watched that.
It wasn't Monday Night Raw back in the 80s, Jay, but Jake the Snake would get the snake out. It was unbelievable. You have Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. Thanks for bringing it up, Hunter. Do you want me to close out with a little wrestling scream for you? Nah, I won't. I'll save it for tomorrow night.
Appreciate it, everybody. Have a good night.